Hello everyone, it's your favorite realtor, Erica Hernandez with RE/MAX Top Realty. Thank you so much for continuing to come to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Erica and I'm a realtor here in the Houston area. I love to teach all things real estate to buyers, sellers, investors. I do have a teaching background. I taught for the Houston Independent School District here in Houston. So my passion is to teach, and now I get to do that with real estate. Although I love working with buyers and I do have most buyer clients, I have been growing and now I have a bunch of seller clients. So that got me thinking I should be making an even amount of videos for my buyers that love to learn all things about buying a home, and for sellers who are curious about the selling process and everything that has to do with selling your home. Today, I'm talking to all my sellers. I'm going to be reviewing the listing fee or the cost to sell your home. If you would like to learn more, please stay tuned. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media at Erica Houston Realtor on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok. And go to my website, www.erikahoustonrealtor.com. All right, guys, so today we're going to start with a little story that's going to help you see things in perspective concerning the fees that are involved with selling your home. Here's the story. So this man breaks down and he's in the middle of the road, ends up calling his mechanic and says, "Hey, I need help. Please come help me. I've broken down," and gives the guy the address. So the mechanic comes over, looks at a few things under the hood, and then goes back to his toolkit in his car. So the mechanic ends up taking like a broken screw off of the car and puts a new one and says, "Okay, problem fixed. My fee today is $200. So of course the guy freaks out and says, $200 to remove a screw? And the guy's like, no. Removing the screw and fixing it for you was super easy. That I would say is free. It's knowing which screw to change that's going to cost you." Think about that for a little while. The first time I heard this story, I was like, wait a minute. Yes. Like when you're paying for things, sometimes we complain like that's too expensive. That's a lot of money for something so simple. But in reality, you're not just paying for the work. I mean, obviously that is part of it, but the experience and the knowledge that people have to offer whenever they're doing things for you, whenever they're fixing things or working for you, that's really where the value goes. If you have not heard this story before, I'm glad you heard it today. I live by this because sometimes I think, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. Like, can you discount that? Or, like the plumbers and things like that. But then I've learned like, yes, the value of what they know and how to fix it super fast and efficiently, that is worth something. So I try not to do that to people. Part of the reason I am going over that story is going to apply to what I'm going over today. To make things a little easier to understand, I'm going to break it up into 3 sections that are involved with the listing fee associated with selling your home. So we call this the listing fee or commission fees, realtor fees. Many people call it different things. This is a cost associated with having to sell your home. It does cost you money to sell your home. Number 1 is equity. We're going to talk about how that applies to the fees you're paying to sell your home. Number 2 is I'm going to remind you that when you purchased a home, you did not pay the buyer's agent. So now it is your turn, and we're going to go over a little more information about that. Number 3 is that each side does have their cost associated with either buying a home or selling a home, and we'll go over some detail. All right, guys, I'm taking you on the road because today is a super busy day. Hopefully you still enjoy the quality of this video. I do want to talk about the 3 sections now that I was talking about, the 3 topics. So the first topic I want to talk about that does have to do with your listing fees is equity. So as you pay off your home month after month, you start building your equity. And equity is how much owner you are of that property, that home. So as you start paying your loan down, you are a higher percentage owner of that property. But the other thing that happens is that as realtors, we are pushing those prices and values up and up and up. How much can we get for our sellers? What is the top dollar here? And as we're doing that, the values of your home go up. We pretty much double the equity of your home as realtors. And so the reason I bring this up as a reminder, I do sit down with sellers to remind them, I know this 6%, which is what we charge. Brokers normally charge 6% fee to sell your home. And that is because as the buyer's agent or the broker, we keep 3%. And then we give 3% to the broker that has the buyer's agent representing the buyer. So a lot of times when people look at this number, 6%, I remind them that the house is almost paying for itself because these values have gone up because of us, our hard work, pushing that top dollar. Values go up. In reality, the house does pay for itself. And when people try to say, I'm not paying, to list my house, I'm not paying to sell my house, all that stuff, I kind of feel like these kind of people are a little bit greedy. I know we all want to keep as much money as possible. I am the same here too. But to do something and get involved in something that is really complicated, because again, it seems very easy, but things could go wrong any minute, or you might do something incorrectly and it could cost you way more than that 6% that you saved. So just take it as a seller. If you're thinking about selling, take that 6% as, hey, this house is actually paying to sell itself. I'm not actually paying out of my pocket to sell this home. So let me allow the professionals, these brokerages, to deal with all the mess, all the drama, all the legal stuff for me, right? Most people have their 9-to-5 job and they work every single day, and they just don't have the time to do the things that we can do during our work hours. The second thing I wanted to talk about today is that it is your turn now to pay. So another quick reminder, when you purchase a home, you do not pay the brokerage fees for that buyer's agent who helped you, showed you a ton of houses, negotiated on your behalf, did contracts, kept up with deadlines, did all these things to get you into your home free for you. You didn't pay that realtor. So whenever you're listing, it is your turn to pay both sides, the 3% and 3%. This leads me to the third topic I want to talk about, which is, if it wasn't this way, where sellers are the ones who pay for the sale of a home, then there really wouldn't be a lot of activity with purchasing and selling homes. Buyers have their own closing costs, guys. So let's say that they're doing a 3% down payment. They're already at 3% down payment. And then closing costs average about another 2%. So even if you do the minimum down payment, which is 3, you add the 3 plus the 2 closing cost, they're at 5. So they're at 5% plus whatever it takes to move. So I almost feel like both sides have a 6%. The seller has a 6% listing fee when selling a home, and the buyers have almost like a 6% when they're purchasing. If we pushed for the buyers to pay their own realtor fees, then that 6% that buyers pay just to buy a home would turn into like 9% or something like that, because then they would have to pay the 3% for the buyer's agent, and then there just wouldn't be any sales. I mean, people would be like, it's not attainable to purchase a home because it costs so much money to get into a home. It's already really hard with down payment and closing costs, and then to add that buyer's agent broker fee would just be not attainable. I say all this to show you that that 6% listing fee as a seller is just how it has to be. I mean, this is how it works. This is how it's worked for many years. Some people may agree with it. Some people don't agree with it. My job is just to educate you how it works and why it works that way. There's always a reason for everything. All right, so now for my bonus tip for all my sellers that I want you to really think about this. I have sat with many sellers when I present the values and all that, and I'm negotiating and teaching them about listing fees. And sometimes sellers will ask for discounts. And I'm going to say this about discounting. When you are getting a discount agent, first of all, you're going to get discounted services. I don't care what anybody says. You yourself, you don't go to work and expect them to pay you less just because they feel like it. you expect to get paid what you're worth, right? And so as realtors, we have our self-worth, and we feel like that 3% on each side, that is our self-worth. Sometimes sellers will say, well, I want a 1% discount. And what happens then is that from 6%, it turns into 5%, which then leaves 2.5% on each side. We value ourselves. We think that we're worth that 3% because I'll make another video about how that 3% is actually broken down. Things that you might not even think about. If I even start, I won't stop. But I'll make a video about that, about how that 3% is broken down, even down to like taxes and how much the brokers take away from us. But just so you know, if you work with a discount agent that says, sure, I'll discount it. Yeah, just give me the job. I want the job. Give me the job. I'll discount you and I'll take a less amount to sell your home. I'm telling you, you're going to get discounted services. And on top of that, think about this. If they cannot even negotiate their own paycheck, their own income, this is what we do for a living. This is how we feed our families. If they cannot negotiate on their own behalf, do you think they're going to negotiate for you? Do you think they're going to push for top dollar? That offer comes in low. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to do their negotiations to try to push them higher? Or do you think they're going to try to convince you to go ahead and take that offer? Like, hey, this is a good offer. Let's take it. When they didn't even try to push it, because pushing it can cause that buyer to go away. You know, if they get upset about, you know, hey, they didn't like my offer, so whatever, screw them, like I'm leaving. So that risk, sometimes these agents, they're not willing to take it. So they don't put their negotiating foot forward. So that's kind of how this works, guys. Thank you so much for staying throughout this whole video, and hopefully you learned something today. If you're a seller, you know, call me, text me, email me. I will sit down with you and go over your home values. I will explain everything to you, how it works, and show you, on top of everything, show you what we do to sell your home, because it's not as easy as just putting it on the market. There's other things involved with selling your home that we have to do. So again, I thank you so much. I'm almost at my destination. I do have a closing today. Thank you for watching. I'm super excited today. I have such a busy day, but I'll see you guys next week, and I hope you reach all your goals, personal or work goals. Don't just focus on the work ones. I always say that. Make sure you're working on your personal goals, and I hope you reach them. Thank you so much.